Imagine an island so huge, it could cover all of France. There are no resorts, no fancy hotels, and no palm trees there. Instead, you'll find plastic bottles, fishing nets, and tons of trash floating on the ocean like a new, toxic continent. This island wasn't made by nature, but by us, people. Every bottle thrown away, every plastic bag caught by the wind, every plastic coffee cup. Sooner or later, it can end up here. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey through humanity's most terrible creation, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. You'll see how it started, what's happening there, and why it's not the only island like this on our planet. You won't believe it, but this island has no shore. You won't find beaches, palm trees, or any land there. From above, it looks like a calm ocean, a blue sheet of water, as if there's nothing there. But that's just an illusion. Beneath the surface, something lurks that frightens scientists and environmentalists, a giant mass of trash. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch covers over 1.6 million square kilometers, which is more than 5 times the size of Poland. It stretches between California and Japan, right in the heart of the North Pacific. But it's not an island you can walk on. It's a thick floating soup of plastic bottles, fishing nets, styrofoam, and tiny bits of microplastic. At first glance, you can't see it. But if you sailed through this area in a boat, you'd notice that the water around you is full of trash. This patch didn't appear overnight. It's the result of decades of carelessness, lack of responsibility, and global consumerism. Every plastic bag, every cup, every fishing net thrown away by humans. Some of them end their journey right there. There are no people, no cities. And yet, this island is one of humanity's biggest creations in history. Not from nature, but from our waste. This isn't science fiction, it's not a metaphor. This is a real, drifting continent of trash, created by our own lifestyle. No human created it. There was no plan, no design, no engineer. This is nature's work, trying to deal with our trash. At the heart of the Pacific Ocean, the North Pacific Gyre spins, a giant water vortex that turns endlessly. It acts like a huge, invisible magnet, pulling in everything that enters the ocean: plastic bottles, fishing nets, packaging, and even tiny microscopic bits. Waste from the coasts of Asia, North and South America gathers in one place, and can no longer escape. Every year, up to 8 million tons of plastic end up in our oceans. Sometimes, it just takes one small thing: a shopping bag, a water bottle, a drinking straw. The wind picks it up from the street, carries it to a river, then to the sea, until it finally lands right in the middle of the Pacific. And there it stays. Because plastic doesn't disappear. It doesn't break down like a leaf or paper. Instead, it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, creating a toxic dust that drifts endlessly. It's from these millions of tiny pieces that our ghost island was born, an indestructible monster created by human carelessness and the ocean's power. It didn't need a lighthouse to warn ships. Its smell, its traces, and its effects are already felt all over the world. It's not just bottles and plastic bags drifting in the ocean. In this floating mess, you can find practically everything: fishing nets, toothbrushes, plastic flip-flops, toys, canisters, and even refrigerators and televisions. Some of it is decades old, still untouched by time, because plastic simply doesn't break down. But what's truly scary isn't the big trash you can see with your own eyes. The biggest threat comes from microplastics, tiny particles, smaller than 5 millimeters, that float in the water like plankton. They don't form one island, like in movies, but a thick, murky suspension, an oceanic plastic soup that stretches for thousands of kilometers. From the outside, it looks almost peaceful. The water surface ripples, the sun reflects in the blue. But just dip your hand in, and you'll see that the ocean is full of tiny, colorful specks. And those are now part of the food chain. Fish, turtles, birds, everything that lives in the ocean eats these microscopic pieces. And then, they end up back on our plates. This isn't some far-off ecology story. This is a story about how the plastic you throw away today can come back to you tomorrow, literally. What we see as trash, animals see as a tasty treat. In the ocean, there are no labels, no warning signs. Every colorful piece of plastic can be mistaken for food, and very often, that's exactly what happens. Turtles see a plastic bag as a jellyfish, their favorite meal. They swallow it, and the plastic blocks their stomach, slowly starving them, even though their bellies are full of trash. Albatrosses, thinking they're feeding their chicks fish, bring them bottle caps, toy pieces, and lighters. Some young ones never learn to fly. They die before leaving the nest. Whales are found on beaches with hundreds of pounds of plastic in their stomachs. Bottles, nets, pieces of rope. Everything we've thrown away comes back to us in the most tragic way. And the worst part is, this process doesn't stop with animals. Microplastics, which come from trash breaking down, get into the bodies of fish and shellfish. Then those fish end up on our dinner tables. Scientists have already found tiny bits of plastic in human blood, lungs, and even breast milk. This means one thing: the ocean isn't dying alone. With every sip of water, with every meal, we too become a part of it. Luckily, not everyone is just watching this problem with fear. Among the people who decided to take action is Boyan Slat, a Dutchman who was only 18 years old when he came up with the idea to clean the oceans. Today, his project, the Ocean Cleanup, is a powerful organization working all over the world. They built systems that look like giant ocean vacuum cleaners, barriers hundreds of meters long that use ocean currents to collect plastic from the water's surface. Their machines drift across the Pacific, pulling waste into special containers. Everything they manage to collect then goes to recycling. Recycled plastic is used to make sunglasses, bags, and even parts of sports equipment. This is not just cleaning. It's also a symbol that even trash can become something valuable if handled wisely. But Boyan Slat repeats one sentence that should sound like a warning to the whole world. We can't just clean the ocean. We have to stop polluting it. Because even the biggest vacuum cleaner in the world won't be enough if we produce more mountains of plastic every day. And the real fight isn't happening in the ocean, but on land, in our homes, stores, and daily choices. The Maldives. For many, it's what paradise looks like. Blue lagoons, white beaches, fancy overwater villas. But just a few miles from the capital city of Malé, you can see the other side of this paradise, Thilafushi Island. Thilafushi wasn't made by nature. It was born from people needing to hide a problem. In the 1990s, they decided to fill a lagoon with trash to deal with the growing amount of waste from hotels and resorts. The idea seemed brilliant until the island started growing. Today, over 300 tons of waste arrive here every day. Plastic, glass, batteries, chemicals, food scraps from tourist resorts. There's no good recycling system here, so most of it just burns, all the time. Soot falls from the sky, and toxic clouds hang over the ocean. Tourists sip drinks in their hotels, while just a few miles away workers breathe in smoke from burning trash. The ocean, which was supposed to be a symbol of purity, is becoming poison. And the water where fish and divers swim contains what's left from what was burned on Thilafushi. It's a funny twist of our times, a paradise built on a dump. Literally. Not all trash islands have to be a nightmare. Singapore proved that you can build something beautiful from waste. South of the city, Semakau was created. An artificial island that, instead of a stinky landfill, looks like a green nature park. How is this possible? Trash in Singapore isn't thrown into the ocean. It first goes to special incinerators. There, it turns into ash and slag, which are then sealed in tight dikes, completely separated from the seawater. Engineers made sure that nothing could get into the environment. After years, the land became covered with plants. Birds live on Semakau, flowers bloom, and educational tours take place. It's a place that shows technology and ecology can work together. Semakau proves that the trash problem doesn't have to end in disaster if we just approach it smartly and don't sweep it under the rug or under the ocean. This isn't just a saying anymore. There are actually people in the world who live on trash. In the Philippines, in Manila, there's a place called Smoky Mountain, a huge mountain of waste that, for years, literally smoked from rotting trash and methane gas. A community grew around it. Thousands of people who live, work, and raise their kids right there on the landfill. Every day they search through mountains of garbage looking for metal, plastic, or glass that they can sell for very little money. For them, it's not a choice, it's their only chance to survive. Similar places exist in Nigeria, Indonesia, and Kenya. There, trash becomes like money, and survival depends on what someone else has thrown away. It's a harsh reminder that our trash doesn't just disappear. Sometimes it just ends up where we don't look, and becomes home for those the world has long forgotten. Stopping this nightmare doesn't need future technology or billions of dollars. All it takes is changing our daily habits. Every plastic bottle you don't buy is one less bottle floating in the ocean. Every reusable bag you use instead of plastic, that's a step towards a cleaner planet. Sorting trash, using reusable items, buying less and smarter. These are small steps that, with millions of people, can change everything. You don't have to be perfect. Just start making smart choices. Because every piece of trash that doesn't end up in the ocean isn't just less pollution, it's a small victory for the whole planet. This isn't a story from a post-apocalyptic movie. The trash island really exists. And nature didn't create it, we did, little by little, one plastic bag at a time. But there's also hope in this craziness. Because if humans could build a continent out of trash, they can also create a world without it. It all starts with simple choices. With you, with me, with each one of us. Do you believe we'll ever clean up the oceans? Write in the comments. I'm curious what you think. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you don't miss out on more stories about places fighting to survive. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.